And you can see I am a little burnt, especially in this camera. It looks like I'm completely red. But hopefully everybody's doing well. Chris Beck's out there. Welcome to the show, buddy. I think I saw Daniel got as my judge out there. Tim Rink, Andy Nelson, the Shaggy Rifleman. I'm not late. Hell, it's only 7:12 here. Well, now that the match is over, I'm going to pound down some Pure Leaf sweet teas. We got another one over here as well, but Riflemania. Mr. Willard, how you doing, Willard? Well, have you ever done something and while you were doing it was just like, what the heck am I doing? Why am I here? What am I doing this for? 2A refugee. And then when you're all done, you're like, man, that was a lot of fun. I am tired. I am sore. But I'm also excited I went out and did it. Like we talk about, just sign up for the matches, right? David Martin, welcome, welcome. Done something stupid all the time. Hitting Steel says, what's up, buddy? Bravado Racing. So at the end of the day, I'm very thankful, especially for Hugo. Shout out to Hugo, my shooting partner. What's up, Going Ballistic? And we had a great time. We did very decent. We kicked butt, especially for a team that's never shot together. So a lot of things. So I got a list here. I got a little list going. Things I want to talk about, and hopefully some of these things will interest you in thinking about maybe signing up for Competition Dynamics. So if you guys don't know, Competition Dynamics, they do like 5 different style matches every year. And there's everything from like this to like the really crazy stuff where you're running like 50 miles and you're doing all this navigation kind of stuff through all the mountains and everything. What's up, Charles Tiffy? Unfortunately, I didn't get good footage. Ray and Eagle Eye, they got a lot better footage. I was more worried about not dying. Richard Arthur, welcome. James Smith, not dying on the field. But I want to give a huge thanks to Burris for doing the match, sponsoring the match. Competition Dynamics was the one that ran the match. You got Zach, Jimmy, there was a ton of people, but I'll name them off. We got Travis, which was the ranch owner per se. That guy is hilarious. Love that guy as well. Then you got old man Stan out there. I busted his balls up for 3 days, having fun. He was getting me as well. So we had a lot of fun, but you got Doug and Mario and all the ROs that helped. And it takes a lot of ROs to get a match like this going. You basically have 3 different fields of courses. You got 4 different stages within each of those, and then you have the best video of all. Just got to watch you leaving the mark. Then you have all the assault stages as well. So it takes a large community in order to run a match like this. Now, so huge thanks to everybody that helped pitch in, help put steel up and blah, 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 and everything that goes on. I know Zach and Jimmy, they were running around 100 miles an hour trying to make sure everything was perfect, and they did a good job at it, survive. I did survive less. Man, some days I felt like I almost didn't, but I did. So huge thanks to those guys. Things I learned, I put. When you arrive, I arrived a day early, which was actually really cool because I wanted to confirm that Google had their perfect address so that the day of the match I wasn't running around in the wrong thing. Did you lose some weight? Oh, I lost some weight, even on the trail, if you saw that video, even on the clock. But, making sure that you're at the right location before everything's going on, making sure that all your gear is showing up. There was one team that unfortunately, one of the teams, one guy had to shoot. The other guy got stuck at the airport. So I like to always fly into somewhere. Not that I do a lot of competitions where I do a lot of flying, but I've always been a person that likes to fly, if possible, a day ahead of time so that I don't have to worry about missing a plane, just some tragic accident or whatever. You get a flat tire and you miss your plane, so I like being early. Razor JB. So basically getting there early, understanding where everything's at, confirming that, Google Maps, what they give you as an address is where it is. So I did that. And fortunately for me, I got to run into Zane and Jimmy. So I ended up hanging out at the ranch that day because I didn't have anything to do anyways. I would have been stuck in the hotel doing nothing. And that's where I got to hang out with Travis, the owner, as well. What place did you shoot? I think we got, I want to say 21st, something like that. Ray and I'm gonna call them the XI, the X-Ring and Eagle Eye. They did really well. We were actually tied at one point. They kicked our butt on the attack stages, but as far as points hit for the 2 days, we were right together. And then today was a tough day. We had some issues finding some targets and actually making good wing calls. So it is what it is. We had a good time. Me and Hugo left the place, and we're super excited to shoot it. We're not sure if we'll shoot it again anytime soon, but we're going to talk about that. That's the reason why Competition Dynamics as a whole has a bunch of different style shooting, and I kind of want to get this because I want to promote what Zach and those guys do, and that's, I don't remember all the names off the top of my head, but there's the Team Safari match, which is what we did in Logan, New Mexico with me and Ray, if you guys seen that video. And that's a lot of fun. You're carrying all your stuff, but you're going to the stage and you're basically waiting for, thanks John, basically waiting for the RO, which was the last team turns into the RO. And then they give you the speech like, here's the left and right limits, and here you go, and go. Kind of thing. So it's not as fast paced. You don't have teams trying to bump ahead of you, which was good. We never had a team bump us, which was really good. We almost bumped a team, but I had to do a bathroom break that you guys probably heard of. So we didn't bump that team, which that wouldn't have been very nice anyway. So kind of you show up early, you figure out the location, you can kind of confirm it. Then the day of the match, they're going to have, at least here, they had the table set up, and they had all the information taped out on the table. So you had all these sheets of paper that were taped, and all those sheets of paper had all the information you needed. So along with basically a map that's drawn out of, where field 1 is, field 2, field 3, and then where the attack stages are going to be. They also had sheets that had all the teams on it. And then they had a sheet where the team will go for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So that's information that you want to have on hand. So take pictures of that. So when you're sitting back at the hotel room, you're like, what time am I supposed to start? So good information to have for sure. And then, Ray put a video out, I think today or yesterday. They actually went to the wrong course, the wrong field course. So that, they ended up losing 5 minutes per se that they could have had extra to go. So just knowing the course and where you're supposed to be in at what time. And then for sure, definitely, they tell you to be there a half hour early. An hour and a half early is even better. It gives you a chance to just make sure, confirm everything. Your mags are loaded, you got them in your pockets or on some type of belt or however you're going to carry your equipment. And just kind of know that you got everything ready to go. And then you're not in a big rush. Along with taking pictures, it's always good. So you basically get these scorecards. Now, these scorecards you can't lose. And I don't know what would happen if you lost one, but basically don't ever lose a scorecard. So you got scorecards for the field stages. You got scorecards for the assault or attack stages. And as they go through, the ROs are scoring it all, and you get to the end. And then at the end of the day, you drop it in basically a metal ammo box, and everybody's scorecards go in there. Before you do that, definitely take pictures just to have it as files. Say something happens, they lose your card, which Zach and those guys are spot on when it comes to that stuff. But just in case something happened, you would have the ability to have your card, at least a picture of your card. So there's something you would probably want to do. I got on here teams. What stages do you? Yeah, and it's basically I talked about who the teams are. You can say, okay, team 6 is behind us, so those guys are like super fast or whatever. So that's kind of a middle note. Like, man, I'm gonna really need to haul butt, so these guys don't catch up to us. Now it's 1 hour, exactly 1 hour of physical fitness. Pretty darn, pretty darn good, depending on the shape that you're in, depending on how much you exercise, how long you've been smoking. All that stuff plays into effect. How heavy your rifle is. Like, everybody's like, man, you got quite a rifle there. And Skittles is a heavy rifle for this style match. I don't know if I was the heaviest rifle, but I will guarantee you I was one of at least the top 2 heaviest rifles in the field. So having gear, and they always go, people that maybe don't shoot go, well, why do you have this rifle and this rifle and that rifle? Well, a good answer would be this one's set up for this style shooting and that one's set up for this style shooting. And those are kind of the reasons. So Hugo, he was carrying, I think it was a proof carbon barrel, it's very, very light AR. And I was jealous of him the entire time. What's up, KJ? I had a chance to meet KJ. He's probably headed home right now, matter of fact. He's getting a carbon fiber spun up. Yeah, I need to get something. What I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn the Tika into maybe something like this. So I might get a barrel that is set up for this match in 6 Creed. That way I'm not chasing a bunch of different style ammo, but a way lighter gun. How did your rifle perform? Cowboy B. It performed extremely well, shot extremely well. There was an issue on stage 1 of day 1, and my Kestrel was screwed up. I think I talked about it before. And everything out to a certain distance. So every time I'd range something, it would say, 325 yards. And I'd look at my Kestrel, and it told me 0.9. So I had ended up with all these 0.9s. And if my brain would have worked, I would have went, no, that can't be 0.9. So just so much going on. The first stage, when you take off, and the first stage on 2 of the field courses, maybe even 3, let's see, the one up to the water tank, the other one was the long one. No, just the 2. So field course 3 and 1, which we did today. You had a long haul before you could even get to the first stage. So, and the one we did today was the worst one. That was field 1, I think. Yeah, field 1. That was a butt kicker. It seemed like you had to haul ass forever, and then finally you would go up into the mountains, and then you could either come back down on the road, go back there, and then climb back up again, or you could kind of go through the terrain and do some bushwhacking, basically. Some people went one way, some people went the other, so I guess it just depended, but that was a rough one. So you basically show up to the first stage. You got an RO or maybe 2 ROs, and they're going to tell you, here's the mark, here's the left and right limiter, and have at it. There was only 2 stages that were a 2x4. So every other stage was a 1x8. So a 2x4 means that you're looking for 4 targets, and the bolt gunner has to shoot those 4 targets at 2 positions. Where the gas gun guy, Hugo, only needed to hit the 4 targets from the first position. So it's actually a lot better. Those are nicer for us because you don't have to find 8 targets, you only have to find 4 targets. Now the left and right limiter could be massive, right? Well, you're looking up, or it could be pretty tight, but you're looking up this huge canyon, and you're thinking, okay, and this is where like the rangefinders and all of them would basically do this, but utilizing the Furies, I was able to go, okay, that's 1,000 yards, so I know it's closer. And then I could click again. Oh, that's 900 yards. So instead of going all the way up the mountain and then all the way back down the mountain, I knew that the limitations of the rifles were, I think it was up to 900. So anything, you know, if it said 925 or whatever, I think the farthest shot we took was 865 yards or something like that. So I knew that if I was ranging stuff at 9 and 11, you know, just skip it and move on, and then try to find those targets along the mountain range. So this is a completely different style of competition, which is really good for people that maybe hunt, people that like shooting the NRL style hunting matches, which I would like to try one of those. Sounds like fun. You gotta find the target, you gotta range the target, and then you gotta shoot the target. So it's basically very similar to what this is. Maybe not this match because you had to do all the, you know, there's a lot more physical activity, but the Steel Safari match, the team safari match, and a few of the other ones is basically kind of set up like that. Now they did do a new one this year, and I know some of you guys out there, you know, aren't spring chickens like myself anymore, and maybe not in the best of shape. They actually have a match that would be really good. And it's so what you can do is, instead of not, you know, basically just trying to find these invisible targets. I'm saying invisible because they weren't as tough for me this year. I don't know if it was because I've had a chance to do it, or if it was easier to see with the terrain. What's up, Eagle Eye? But like Kenny could tell you, they weren't as tough as I thought they were. I think New